welcome back. And I'm your host, Holly Waxman, here with 72 Sold, Arizona Lifestyles, and two special guests. My first special guest, and really thankful for you to be here, is Rich Woods, and he specializes in cars and is going to tell us about how exciting the Barrett Jackson event is this season. And of course, my favorite listing partner and daughter, Britney Waxman. Hi.
Hi. I just want to say before I get into anything, how happy I am to be here and how blessed I am that the fact that you even asked me to sit in. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. So Britney does real estate, but when she was in high school, she worked with Barrett Jackson and was selling merchandise.
Yes, and that's where I met Britney.
That's where we met.
In Las Vegas, 2021.
Yeah. A while ago.
Yeah.
And we were having a meeting and we're saying, let's tell our audience, people that are interested in Arizona lifestyles, about Barrett Jackson. So Britney says, we must call my friend Rich.
She says, I know a guy just for this.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the phone call came in. So, ask anything you want to know.
Well, Rich, so you live currently?
I'm from a different country. I'm from a place called Canada.
Okay.
So a little further north, and Vancouver, Canada, province of British Columbia. For those of you that don't know exactly where Vancouver is, I'm hoping everybody knows where Vancouver is, but on the off chance that someone doesn't know, it's about 3 hours north of Seattle.
Right.
So from Vancouver, born and raised, and always been a big fan of the state of Arizona, particularly the Scottsdale area.
How do you you're here for a month, right?
I'm here for the month of January for the Barrett Jackson.
Right.
You know, we got a bunch of cars we bring down here to sell, and there's a lot of time involved in getting the cars ready and cleaning them and moving them into the Westworld area. And
Rich is one of the largest.
He's the man, the myth, the legend of Barrett Jackson.
Wow. I mean, right. I wouldn't go that far, but we probably do between 30 and 50 cars a year with the Scottsdale auction alone. And it's a fair amount of work to bring that many cars down from a different country. Got a lot of shipping going on. We got a titling process that's different than our paperwork that we have back home. So all the cars have to be in order, all the serial numbers. Of course, all the cars have to be ready to go mechanically, and as well as look as good as they possibly can, because we want everything to look good up on stage, including ourselves.
Right. Yes. So tell us about the whole event and what makes this Barrett Jackson such a wonderful event.
Yeah, well, Barrett Jackson, and maybe I'm just speaking from my own personal point of view, but I really don't think so. Barrett Jackson itself, just that name, everybody knows what Barrett Jackson is, what Barrett Jackson represents, the vehicles, and if you sift it down a little further, what actually is contained in Barrett Jackson. And I'm just going to say it's exciting. It's beautiful to be there. It has turned from more of a car guy sport to what I would consider a family affair. I mean, you go to Barrett Jackson and there's full-blown families there. You think you're in Disneyland. And I talk to everyone I can. And I've talked to people and say, well, why are your kids out of school? And I'm not saying I condone this, but I'm just saying there are a lot of families that do pull their children out of school to attend Barrett Jackson. That's how large it is.
Wow. Yeah. And then do you have tonight there's an event or...
events. Yeah, there's actually a band Foreigner, which I believe is from the 80s or 90s.
Right.
That's playing tonight at Westworld. And then as well as there's a black tie event Saturday night. Sunday night is the big gala for the Barrett Jackson kickoff, where it's everyone gets together for some drinks and food and whatnot. There'll be a band there at the Westworld Stadium, so that's always a good time.
Yeah. Well, it sounds amazing. I'm looking forward to going. Britney loves it.
It's fine.
Anybody that's a car buff or has any interest in cars, I highly suggest popping down to Barrett Jackson, even if it's just for the day. A question I get asked a lot, which I got asked this morning from Holly, was when is a good day to go? And I mean, hey, you can go whenever you have time, but generally as the week goes on, the auction starting on Monday, finishing on the weekend. It used to be Saturday, but now I believe it's Sunday. But generally, as the week goes on, the quality of cars is known to get better. And by the time you get to Friday and Saturday evening, that's when you have all the, we're going to say the fancier, more pricier cars going through. And a lot of people want to see that. And then you get the other spectrum of people that just don't really care about that. And they just want to see the cars and see it as a car show, perhaps less crowds, maybe even a less expensive ticket. And they'll go on a Monday or Tuesday.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, lots of people come down here, and you've been here for a month. How do you feel about living in Arizona and what the lifestyle is like here?
Well, again, just personal experience. I love it here. Where I come from, Vancouver, it's not too terribly cold. A lot of people think you're from Canada, you must live in igloos. It's not really like that. It doesn't snow every year, although they got some snow the other day. But me personally, when I come into town, meaning Scottsdale, the best way I can describe it is I feel like I'm home. I love it here. I love the people. I love everything around this place.
Yeah. Well, lots of people are from other places, so we're very welcoming.
I was parking my vehicle to come into this interview, and a guy asked me what the truck I was driving, and I guess he recognized my accent. He says, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Canada." He said, "So am I." So I think the more you actually talk to people, the more you'll probably see that a lot of people are from either different states, especially the eastern states, escaping the weather. I believe they call it snowbirds, and they come and hang out here for the winter months, and I can't blame them.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah. Well, Britney, do you have anything?
So what's your favorite part about Barrett Jackson this year?
Overall, the people, it's a very exciting place to be. And I love chatting with people and finding out where people are from, what they're doing. And now when I come into town, it's great to have so many friends that don't necessarily reside here, even in the state of Arizona, but how they come here for the Barrett Jackson. And you see these people all throughout the week, and you catch up, and Happy New Year, and what's been going on. And the networking side of things is just huge when you open yourself up and you start talking to people. And that's where the opportunities in life come from as well.
Have you been on any TV shows this year?
Yeah. We did some work with Discovery Channel back home, as a matter of fact. I believe, what's that one called? Bush Wreck Rescue with a friend of mine, Glenn Braid. Glenn Braid, I used to do drag racing with a few years ago, and he's got his own show, and he's just doing dynamite with that show, and he suits the role real good. So Discovery Channel, Bush Wreck Rescues, a little plug there for you.
Yeah,
Glenn.
I saw it. It was really cool.
Yeah.
So
cool.
What's your favorite car that's going to be on the stage this year?
Wow. Roughly speaking, Barrett Jackson has approximately 2,000 vehicles running through this week. And as I walk through the tents and the buildings, I'm just like a little kid in a candy store. I look at this and I see this Camaro and I see this Cuda and this Chevelle, and I'm kind of a muscle car guy. And it's just full of great cars. And one thing I do want to add about Barrett Jackson for 2024 Scottsdale is I noticed the quality of cars is noticeably better than previous years. And not that there was any junky cars in previous years, but I do notice this year in particular, there's a lot of beautiful cars, a lot of great cars running through this year.
I'm excited to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope to see you guys there this year.
So is there any of your cars that are on the T-shirts this year, that are on the Barrett Jackson T-shirts?
I don't know. I don't think so. But we brought, I think, about 30 cars down this year. There's a lot of great cars that we brought down, I'm not going to lie. So, we just hope everything goes good as usual. And Barrett Jackson treats us first class. And for that, I thank Barrett Jackson and all their staff, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, we want to thank you, Rich, for being here with us today. And thank you, all of our listeners. And until next time, bye for now.
Wow, my pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.